What's up, guys? My name's Lana Sackwild. I am the owner of Get Lucid with Lana, and this is my lucid dreaming and lucid living community group. I'm streaming live to you guys from today. I created this group for people who are interested in lucidity practices, primarily for self-development, business or entrepreneurial expansion, and transpersonal or spiritual mastery. So if you're joining me live today, please say hi, let me know who you are, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you, connect with you a little bit more. Today I wanted to continue on from actually a discussion I had from episode 17 in my series Get Lucid TV, which was titled Why I Quit My 9-to-5. And if you want to watch that episode, you're welcome to do that from my YouTube channel, which is Get Lucid with Lana. So in that episode, I talked about how I was pretty sure I was gonna leave my job, my 9-to-5, and I'd at least come to this point where I knew that the job I was doing was not my destiny, you know? And as much as I really loved it, I loved the people, I loved my coworkers, the organization was incredible, it had a great premise to it, I wasn't fully able to share my gifts, share my talents, and spread the joy of lucid dreaming and lucid living to people, which is obviously now what I'm all about, what I'm here to do. And I was coaching on the side, I guess, but this was putting me in this position where actually I see this happen to a lot of, I guess, startup entrepreneurs, is where they have all these different side hustles because they're scared to maybe go all in on their big dream, their calling, their baby business, whatever you want to call it. And this then kind of prevents them from officially taking off with that calling. But I did notice that whenever I was talking about lucid dreaming, whenever I was talking about lucid living, whenever I was doing a session with someone, a lucid dreaming session, I was lit up. And people would comment about how happy I seemed. My husband would notice that, you know, after sessions when I was working on my business, I would be super buzzing, and just after anything in connection to lucid dream work, really. And then this would kind of, fade back away when I was doing the 9-to-5 stuff. And I think this was a huge sign for me, and it should be for all of you guys who are tuning in today, in terms of what your true calling is, what those big dreams are for you. And it's interesting and I guess kind of funny when we think about the things that light us up, right? Because we don't really get to choose or select what we're interested in necessarily. Like if you have a partner who's obsessed with sports, but you're just not into it, you don't care, it's hard to force yourself to really get into it or genuinely care about it. You can't really make yourself genuinely interested in something or passionate about something that you just aren't, right? We do what we love, and that's what makes us happy. And this is such an interesting topic, so it's something that I wanted to touch on this week because, as some of you will have seen, I've been posting job openings. I'm looking for my next superstar, conscious connections appointment setter. And so part of the job hiring process is asking people about why they want this job and why they don't want the job that they're doing currently, or what kind of job they have in place now and why they want to move into a different field from what they've had before. And so when we do this, we get to really hear about someone's history, usually the path that got them to where they are today, as all of us have these journeys. And I noticed something which I think is really important to share with you guys here today. So the people who seemed genuinely happiest in these interviews are those people who I believe are really following their true joy. They don't mind taking a risk as long as it's really in alignment with what makes them happy, what makes them feel joy, what lights them up inside, and something that they really like doing. And they're happy, I think, because they've been consistently just choosing happiness in all the decisions that they make. They seem to be this type of person who will just keep taking classes, keep learning, keep following the things that excite them, that interest them, and lo and behold, this turns them into very happy people. Or, on the other side of this, there are people who take jobs and apply for jobs because of money, which is essentially security, or because of ease. Like ease to maybe just get a job if it's remote or something like that, and they don't have to go to an office, or maybe it's just easy to work somewhere close to home, or nothing too extreme that would place them in great discomfort. Something that all of these people tend to end up having in common is this great dissatisfaction. And it actually doesn't matter what their paycheck is. You can be offered, multiple six-figure as a paycheck, but if that's in exchange for doing something that you don't actually like, or it's not something that you feel like is really nurturing you, who you are deep inside, it's not helping you grow, there's no paycheck that can really bring that inner satisfaction, which I think is where the term money can't buy you happiness comes from. And I never used to understand this term because money's great, right? I'm sure you can think of a million things that you would love to do with $1 million if you had it in your bank account that would perhaps make you feel happier. And that's true, but it doesn't necessarily last. So what I mean by that is that happiness doesn't last if you have something else like your job or a partner or health issues that for most of the time are not bringing you happiness. So for example, if I gave you $20,000, oh, hey Josie, thanks for sharing. I'm glad you're here. If I gave you $20,000 and I said, go on a great vacation, take a week off. You might go on that vacation, you might have an incredible time, but the happiness doesn't stay with you. Hey Casey, hey Simon. The happiness doesn't stay with you if you're then coming back after that week to a really shitty job that you don't like. Or, if I could give you your dream car, great car, but if you're using that to drive to a really shitty job or go somewhere that you don't like, or go see friends that are not your true cheerleaders, or don't really have your best interests at heart, then both those things, the car, the fancy vacation, are suddenly not as great as they maybe initially seemed in your imagination, where you tend to just focus on the good part, right? But not as much the reality part. However, if you're happy to start with, if you've got amazing relationships, you've got great friends, you're doing your dream job, you have good health, you don't tend to need that much more added into that to be able to have a really great time, which is why that happiness aspect is priceless. That's why happiness is priceless, I think. And look, I've been in the corporate world, I've worked for other people, and there's been times where that was a great fit for me because maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind, or I wasn't ready to do something outside of that. But when you're someone who comes to this place, which is what I want to touch on and share some resources for you guys today, is when you come to this place where you have these dreams on your heart, these goals, these ambitions, and they're like bursting through you. You've been maybe pushing them down for quite a while, but they're starting to come out, and maybe you're even dreaming about them at night, or you're just constantly thinking about it, or having these ideas that are on your mind. I think that's the time where you really need to start taking action with them, and you can't just keep pushing them down anymore, because in reality, they're not going to go away. I've had those nights when I've been working a job that I don't want to, hey now, and I can't sleep. I can't sleep well because, I start coming up with all these creative or incredible ideas for retreats or a new module in my business course, or I start thinking of something that would maybe lead to a student who I was working with and their expansion, or something that would really help them. And there's been countless lucid dreams that I've had where I've just used that space for these incredible business breakthroughs or working on my own self-development. And then you wake up just bursting with energy after that. You feel motivated, you've got this clarity, you've got lucidity for what your next move is in life, and this stuff is just pouring out of you, and you have that sense that you really need to share this with the world. I think your life is too short not to be feeling like that on a daily basis, because you can feel like that if you are following the dreams that you're being called to follow. Maybe you're someone who isn't taking the next step with those dreams because you might think you need a degree, or you need some kind of certification, or you're not qualified enough, or you have those ideas of like, well, who am I to start teaching on this thing or coaching on this subject? Who's going to take me seriously? And these are some of the really limiting beliefs that I talked about in that episode 17 of why I quit my 9-to-5. If you're someone whose inner critic is really loud, I'm gonna need you to go and watch that episode that I made on the 9-to-5, and also speaking a lucid language for yourself, because that's gonna be the next language that I really need you to learn for yourself. Only takes 15 minutes, but that episode on speaking a lucid language, it will change your entire life. Because the truth is you can do the thing that you want to do. You're enough. Everything that you need to have for that is within you. Everything you think you need to have is already within you. You were born to access all the gifts that you've been given. We each have these gifts that are uniquely ours, and you have yours, and you have it for a reason. And like I always recommend, if you're not 100% sure of what your gift is, or you're not sure about what you're here to do, your real purpose, or what the meaning of your life is, I always highly recommend that you do turn towards your dreams. Our dreams are incredible because every night we get this little movie, right? Or multiple movies for ourselves that show us our biggest fears, our desires, our strengths, our weaknesses, and the experiences that we've had maybe in the past. And we also get to go through some of the things that maybe we desire, or things that we're looking forward to, or things that we want to experience and aim towards in the future. So our thoughts during the day are not like this. They're not like our dreams, because our thoughts in our normal waking life get clouded by other people and the external environment, the places we go to, the people we see, the people we're spending time with. We have all these other ideas, right? TV, news, marketing, social media, it's all being shoved in our face all day. But when you go to sleep, when you dream, all that noise is shut out, and you're just left with these distilled messages that are directly being channeled to you, our dreams. And I say that our dreams, quite often I say that our dreams are like God-given gifts, because the things we're shown, the messages we receive, the insights that we gain in the dream space are truly mind-blowing. Sometimes one single dream you have can really touch you. It can stay with you for years and years and years. And sometimes we get insights from dreams, one single dream, that can be worth like 10 plus years of therapy for someone. Huge, huge breakthroughs. So at this point of what I'm talking about, I also want to touch on when you feel like nothing is bringing you that kind of, I can't wait to jump out of bed and just start my day kind of energy or joy. And that's fine. I've been there too myself. Some people call that depression, dark night of the soul kind of experience, working with their shadow, or just moving through something, right? And it's a really important part of the journey. If you're there, if you're in that kind of stage of your journey, the really good side of this is that you can be in this spot during that stage where it can be very, very apparent to you what actually brings you joy, because most things aren't doing that. At that kind of time in your life, what you want to do is you want to start following the breadcrumbs. And what I mean by the breadcrumbs are, these might be kind of tiny little things that just spark your interest sometimes, or make you smile, or make you go deeper into your thoughts or your curiosities. They bring up questions inside you. You want to start taking note of those little breadcrumbs, those small sparks of joy or just interest, curiosity, and start moving towards them. And what you'll see is that when you start doing that, that bliss will begin to grow more and more over time. I myself had a really long phase of depression, and that's partly why my lucid dreaming and lucid living research is connected to mental health and that topic in particular. During that time, I was going through this exploration period where I just wasn't entirely sure of what my purpose was, and what could really make me happy. And I felt frustrated, right, at not knowing exactly what it was that I wanted to do. I really wanted to figure it out. I felt jealous of all those people who know their thing, or they go to school and they're really good at something, or they have this natural talent, or it seems like they have this natural talent that is just their thing and they're supposed to do it and they know what it is. I felt frustrated. I wanted to figure this out, and I started trying to follow my own breadcrumbs, and I noticed that there was this part of me that really liked just creating something. The idea of being able to create something from nothing with my hands. And this seems really vague, and that's because it was. At that time, it was just this kind of feeling that I had, like an energy in my hands, that they were ready to just bring things into creation. So there was this one night where I just started looking up hobbies or different activities connected to handwork. So I looked up stuff like Reiki, pottery, archery, gardening, all kinds of things. And then I saw some videos actually on knitting, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. I like the idea of being able to make like a scarf or something. And I don't know why. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who would look at that and not think that's cool, but it was for me. And so the next day, literally went to the store, I bought myself yarn, I bought myself knitting needles, I got myself on YouTube, and I just started knitting. And it is now one of my favorite activities in the world. It's something that produces so much joy, meditation, relaxation for me. I really like that I can make things for other people. I like that I can make things for myself. Similarly, shortly after this, I had this experience with kickboxing. So I was analyzing my dreams. I noticed that I was having a lot of dreams that were linked to anger. And this got me really thinking, because I'm a very calm person, or I think I'm a very calm, grounded person in my waking life. And maybe I was like, maybe I need a space to really release some of that anger, which is not an easy thing, I think, for women to do. So I started thinking about that, and that then led me down the rabbit hole of martial arts. And well, now here I am, I'm a blue belt in kickboxing, and this is another hobby that started bringing me great joy, great satisfaction, huge release of so much tension in so many ways. So neither of these things became my profession, so to speak, right? But I believe that they both brought me enough joy and enough clarity where I was then in a better space in my life to really step into something professionally that is my dream job, which is what I'm doing now. So my point about this is there might be some steps along the way. You might not be in that space right now where you're entirely sure what the big dream is, what the big goal is, and you might need to take some of those steps to follow those breadcrumbs of your own. And do comment, let me know if you have an idea about what some of the breadcrumbs are. Comment them below, because other people might see them and recommend something to you that they know, oh, I was kind of interested in that as well, and here's something that I did. And my main point of this is you deserve it. You deserve to find out, and you deserve it now. Your future self deserves it. Your family deserves it. Your friends, your spouse, everyone that you're in connection to in the world really deserves to experience you living your life where you're doing something that is bringing you pure joy. You should feel happy, and you can feel happy when you're doing something that you really want to be doing. You don't need to earn that. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You can just step right into it. You, at your core, are ready to be the best version of yourself that you can be, and you don't deserve anything less than that. You just don't deserve it. You're amazing. You're an incredible, magical human that's here by some kind of miracle. You're conscious, you're lucid, you're ready to cultivate those big dreams inside you, entire universes that exist inside you for yourself. And I think the main point of this is like, what else are you gonna do? I think, if it's not that, why, I don't know, why wouldn't you do anything but that, right? There's nothing else for you to do. There's nothing better than becoming your best self. There really aren't any other options, I guess, in my opinion. So I don't think there's any other options near what that cultivates for you. So really, this video is about calling you, or hopefully inspiring you to follow your passions, find your purpose, do the things that light you up. And if you're not sure what those things are, I hope some of the recommendations in this about finding your joy, little sparks of joy, curiosities, things that bring up questions inside you, follow those until you can start lighting yourself up more and more. Choose every day to make your heart full of love, full of energy. Fill your time, your precious time that you have here, spending your energy on everything that just drives you. You don't need to wait around for permission from anyone. This is your life. You are the driver. So ignore those thoughts from the inner critic that make you worried before you've even gotten started, right? Just see how it goes. That's what I do. I think that's literally what everyone does who starts something new or decides to go after their dreams. Maybe there's those very rare people who are like naturally born to do something and they just kind of know it and it flows. But I think most people are like this. They're making step-by-step decisions. Some of the shit that I decide to do seems insane, but I just stick with it. And 9 times out of 10, I make it happen. If you would have told me just a couple of years back that this is the kind of life that I would be living today, I would have laughed so hard in your face, honestly. But this is me. This is what I do. I'm the creator of my dreams. I thrive on giving people, I think, hope to step into theirs. And if they're ready to step into it, the blueprint to really just do it. So thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm really grateful for all of you who watch through these and feel inspired. I always love receiving messages from you, and I'm so grateful for you being with me on my journey, and I feel blessed to be a part of your journey right now as you're watching this. If there was any part of this training, this episode that you loved, please leave a comment below. Love hearing from you guys. I love hearing your takeaways. And if you would like to connect with me personally to discuss anything about this, my inbox is always open. You can connect with me on Facebook or on Instagram or Twitter with my handle, which is my name, Lana Sackwild. And if you do follow me on those platforms, you may have seen that I am currently enrolling for the next round of the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab, which is my 12-week online group coaching course. It's all about harnessing lucid dreaming and lucid living for self-development, entrepreneurial expansion. If you're someone who's just like ready to take off with your big dreams, with your ideas, if you've got those dreams and passions kind of bursting from within you, or even just the start of an idea for something that you want to turn from a dream into maybe more of an actual reality, please DM me just saying like I'm bursting with dreams, and I would love to talk to you more about that, or at least give you some maybe resources for getting started with it. Other than that, I'm wishing you all an amazing weekend full of big dreams, lucidity, and abundance. Bye.